today I will be talking about my idea. That is, um, my idea is I cannot be forgetting this right now. I'm kidding. I do remember. But the above situation is anyone's worst nightmare when your brain reboots without permission and goes blank. I'm sure we've all been in situations like this when we have a deadline, are under any sort of pressure, in the middle of a heated debate, desperately searching for a witty retort. And instead, we find ourselves panicking and blanking out, or thinking of an excellent point months after the incident while we were overthinking in the middle of the night. In simple words, we have no impressive ideas, even though the situation demanded it. I have been through this predicament one too many times, and often found myself feeling useless, incompetent, or less intelligent than my fellow peers who can perform brilliantly impromptu and under all sorts of pressure. But for the majority of us that can't perform that well under pressure, I feel your pain. Allow me to tell you a story. The very first year that I had been selected to join TED clubs, my talk selecting process was an absolute disaster. I had put myself under so much pressure to think of a brilliant idea that would impress everyone that I ended up blanking out. I dismissed every single idea I had, and suddenly I found myself inching closer and closer to the deadline with zero ideas. I panicked and I settled for an idea that I wasn't very proud of. This year, however, I was determined to find an idea that would impress, and I promised myself that I wouldn't settle for less. So, I started trying to think of an idea much in advance, as soon as the year started, in fact. But that didn't really work out for me. What I didn't realize then was the immense pressure that I was putting on myself to find an idea, and a brilliant one at that. Eventually, I reached a stage when I was exhausted and thought maybe I need to learn a little bit more about myself to remedy this predicament. And after much trial and error, I finally found a system that worked for me. I was way happier and satisfied completing my assigned tasks and putting out ideas. Therefore, they were better. As soon as I took the pressure off my mind, the pressure to be brilliant, the pressure to meet deadlines, the pressure of what other people might think, the pressure to remember every single detail perfectly, the world inside my head transformed. It became a happier and much more efficient place. I read somewhere that the cutting disc used in a particular rotary tool was very brittle, so much so that one could break it quite easily with their fingers. However, this very disc, when mounted on a spindle and spun at thousands of RPM, these very delicate discs could cut through steel. When you compare this to your brain, you realize that all you need is to know thyself and find a personalized system that acts as the spindle and helps you be your most creative and efficient self. For me, this system included not thinking about the task at hand at all, as I would stress out, and I would focus more on the stress as opposed to completing the task. Therefore, I allowed my mind to be completely blank and relaxed. Hot showers and taking as much time as I needed to complete the task, also known as defaulting on quite a few deadlines, at least initially while I got used to this system, really helped. And honestly, this system is the reason I am standing before you today with this topic. I forgot about what other people might consider a brilliant idea, or what idea would impress other people. Instead, I focused on myself. I focused on what I thought would be a brilliant idea, something that I have been through, something that I relate to, something that I was proud of. And this is what expressing without the pressure of perfection, impressing people, or fearing failure does for you. Now, for my improvisationally challenged friends, there is a way you can work on your improvisation skills and your conversational skills. I read a study a while ago which stated that everyone thinks of great ideas, and these great ideas usually come to you only when you don't actively try and think of them. For example, when you're showering, walking, running, during self-reflection time, while you're sleeping, etc. And we think of these great ideas and then we forget about them because we don't document them. In order to bring an idea or a point to life and to consolidate it, we need to write it down. You can document it on your smartphone because you have it on you at all times, so you can pull it up whenever you require it in the future. The next step is to organize your ideas such that they fall under categories like project ideas, important pieces of information I can use in a debate or in a conversation, ideas worth spreading, etc. Here, you are training your brain to pick up some pieces of information that you can use in your conversation in daily life or also in debates. You are sitting and forming your ideas and consolidating them by writing them down so that recall is faster and easier. I'd like to conclude this talk by saying that while diamonds are made under extreme pressure, bread only rises when it is allowed to rest and slowly bake. So, take your time. Take a deep breath. Don't let the pressure get to you. And watch yourself brimming with wonderful, creative ideas and thoughts.